Hello guys, welcome to another market review. Today I'm going to be sharing with you those trades or those setups which you should be looking at for the trading day. Today is the 30th of March, so I just want to quickly share with you also those trades or areas which you should be looking out for opportunities, and also what are the best pays to look out for in today. Okay, I just want to quickly start with NZD card because this is where I'm right now. Okay, so previously I did work out some trade setups here for you guys: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe 5 right here. Okay, so we did complete that, and we took some short trades here which wasn't really nice because we hopped off. All right, that went down. All right, so that was also the very first step we took. And also with this contraction here, we did wait because personally I wanted to wait because I knew that I had a wave B of an internal structures here, ABC. Okay, and I started having an A wave here. So what I wanted to do was to find the extreme of the B leg. Okay, so when I did get the extreme of the B leg, because let me just zoom in here a little bit for you guys, and let me share with you also how you can also spot reversal patterns also on your chart very easily. Okay, so looking at this one here, I had a break to the upside, okay, followed by a small triangle right here, and I knew that once price breaks through that triangle, all right, and I looked at it, and I know questions came in that what if we could be running out some sort of contraction such as this one here. No, I pointed out to you that this is wrong. Okay, if this is wrong, that we could be having some sort of downward triangle or wedge pattern right here. Okay, so this one's where we hopped off onto the very first trend, and that was also a nice one. Let's go back, check back in the channel also what we did first. Okay, so it's one of the trades we took, and it was also a wonderful one. All right, let's look at it. Right. Okay. All right, so looked at, okay, that was a TP smashed, and we took some couple of good trades as well. All right, so let me just go ahead share with you. All right, so this is the trade setup right here. Okay, so this is the trade setup right here, and overall, you guys, that I want to target the 0.857. So I pointed out to you first, guy, that it is best to target first TP. Okay, so first TP was where we made adjustment to of 0.8675, and that was also a very nice territory there. Okay, so we did get some TP out first. Okay, so this was also the very first TP around this territory, was where we got our best take profit. And okay, so here we can also be taking another position here because we have it that price have also retraced. Okay, so price have also retraced from the initial impulse which I wanted to see first. So price have also retraced. So here value that price have slightly gone below the structure here. Okay, so on a daily we could as well identify this as a rejection. Let me just go prop a daily structure, okay, for you guys. On a daily structure here, we can see that yesterday, or in yesterday's trading day, we had what could also be a possible rejection of these lows here. But if you just go ahead, shift up this a little bit, one thing I realized over the last few years, okay, and is pointing out support and resistance. Okay, so let's look at this on a line chart. You can see that this on a line chart, that this is our support, and price some sort of pierce a little bit below the structure here before they pushed it upside. So what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at this as a possible retracement. Okay, I'm looking at this as a possible retracement on a lower time frame. Okay, so I expect price to still continue downside, okay, having completed this one here. So overall, what I'm going to point out to you guys is I'm going to point out my possible target. Okay, I'm going to be looking at my possible target. Where is my possible target? Here is a possible target here, the 127 Fibonacci extension. I'm going to have it as the extended on my Fibonacci tool because I reconfigured mine. Okay, so when I'm looking at extension or extended, okay, so this is overextended, which is 161.8, and you can see here I did some adjustment to mine 1.271. okay, let me just go add this up. Okay, is my extended, so this is 1.27. okay, so you can as well look at taking some positions off that territory. Okay, taking some profits off that territory right there. All right, let's look at here what levels are we going to be looking at taking threads. Okay, we have it that 61.8 is around this level here. I'm not really expecting that price should or might go up to 61.8, but however, you can start taking some positions if it's okay for you. One of the things I'm looking at here is I feel it's okay for me because I'm gonna if I'm gonna be taking a trade off here, my exit is going to be just above the 78.6. okay, so above the 78.6 is I'm going to be taking a range. What range are we looking at here? We're looking at possible 180 pips. Okay, I'm going to use 180 pips. So 180 pips for me to make a 1:3 risk to reward trade, I'm going to be looking at risk less than 40 pips. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at this target right here, and this target from this point on is 46 pips. So 46 pips here is going to give me an additional 130, 135 thereabout pips. Okay, so it's more of a 1:3 risk to reward from this high. So I'm going to take this trade from this territory here. So you can as well do so, or you can as well wait for some sort of spike to hit the 61.8 before you can come into taking this trade right there. All right, but I want to take this one right here. All right, let me just go over to the next one, which I'm going to be looking at with you guys here is also AUD/NZD. Why I'm looking at AUD/NZD because on a monthly scale, if you would look at this one on a monthly scale here, initially we did work out what could have been some sort of weakness inside of this territory here, and you can as well, I showed you guys how I adjusted my trading plan and also how I reconfigured my chart here. So we started having some setups here that we could be looking for some sort of opportunity because I was looking at some sort of scenario that price could also start here to drop. But however, in my subsequent analysis, I also spotted that there's a possibility that price could want to test previous extreme here or either breakout. So what if we were having an impulse here and a little bit of pressure here that could also create price into breaking out of this structure? Okay, so we're not going to be looking at a more long-term possibility. We're going to be looking at a medium-term possibility. What is also happening, guys? We've seen that more of the time that we've seen price trading upside, and this was when we changed our trading plan. Okay, so when I might change my trading plan, I spotted that this could also be a contraction because on a weekly time frame, what I did identify first is I did identify a bearish engulfing candle, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to take those short trades. But however, this bearish candle created some sort of shallow movement to the upside that was not able, or price couldn't just maintain that drop. Okay, so price then shallowed off and then continued to the upside. So what I'm looking at here is a possibility that price would want to still further continue upside. And looking at this one here, this is a very, very important candle here. If you look at here on your candlesticks analysis lesson, you know that a pin bar at a very key environment here is a sign of a reversal. So here we have the H4 candle close right here, and the next candle should also follow bullish to confirm that movement there. And however, this one here fits the bill. Okay, so it fits all the criteria. Okay, so looking at this one, it fits all the criteria for a long trend. Okay, so price could also start from this point on to continue to the upside. All right, we could see that price continue from that point upside here. But what makes the most sense? Okay, so risk to reward trade, risk to reward in any trade makes the most sense. Let's look at what our risk is going to be like. Our risk is going to be like somewhere around below this territory here. So looking at here, we look at 45 pips, and 45 pips to that point on, it's about another 65 pips. No, it doesn't fit well for me for a risk to reward trade. So possibly I'm going to have to wait just a little bit longer, somewhere around this zone, if price will just slide down a little bit. And I'm going to look at here 30 pips. I'm going to look at here 70 pips. So that's going to make the most sense for a 1:2.5 risk to reward trade. Well, I did miss this trade because it wasn't in my time that I'm going to take this trade yet. Okay, so I don't often take trades during that time frame. So when price was about reversing in this territory here, it wasn't the time best for me to take trade. So I had to just avoid it and then move on to the next one. All right, so looking at next one, I'm going to be sharing with you also today. I just want to quickly share with you also the next setup here, which I'm going to be looking at for the trading day. All right, so I want to look at this one on a major currency. Okay, I want to look at this one on a major currency. How? All right, so I hope you guys took some positions off Mana and also Luna, and also made some cool profits up there. That's wonderful. All right, that's really nice if you did so. Okay, so yesterday we had some really weird movements yesterday because we have price trading below the range for the very first time here yesterday. Okay, after breaking out, staying up, we had price slide below the range. There's also a great possibility that price could also start to reverse instead of that. However, this is also the chart of NZD-USD. Okay, straight up NZD-USD. And remember, guys, we are still working out a scenario that either price will continue upside or reverse. However, I'm going to share with you once the full reversal comes. I'm going to share with you also the full breakdown once the full reversal comes, and I will not fail to do so. So if you subscribe to this channel, you're going to get all the information when that comes out. Okay, so the next one I'm going to be looking at here is a very key support. Okay, I'm going to look at a very key support here. Lots of things has been happening quite of late around USD CAD, and we've seen first on Monday, which I did take some trades. Okay, and that was Friday. I did take some pending positions. I really forgot, but it came into triggering that position, and possibly I got off of around a high such as this one here because I had so much rush in the day. So I had so much rush in the day. When I looked at this one here, I had so much rush in the day. So possibly 100 pips on a particular or a day movement, it was okay for me to take some trades off. Okay, so we have it that price is back into the territory here. So what is it going to be, guys? Okay, are we going to be having a bounce one more time, or are we going to have price break through this zone? That's one of the reasons why I want to wait. Okay, because we're having some major news coming in the week. Okay, so I'm gonna be looking at a possibility that the news could also help in this kind of setup. But currently what we have here, we're starting to have a no demand. Okay, so if you guys understand what a no demand is, this is what it actually looks like. Okay, we have it pushed upside, it dropped. So from this point on, there is no demand to push price out of this zone. So what I'm going to be waiting for is I'm going to be waiting for some sort of reasons for buyers to step in one more time and then push price out of the zone. So possibly what's going on in here is no demand, and it's best not to take this kind of trades around this area until we have key news release coming in, and that could also be a catalyst. As you guys know, news release, most times I use it as a catalyst. That's why I look at it on weekly basis and also on a long term. So what is going to be happening over the next few days? Is election coming up? Are we having holidays? Are we having earnings? So I look at all those things when I'm taking trades. Okay, because it's a catalyst. Okay, it could either slow down or speed up the rate of price change, also creating more of volatility over that period of the news. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be looking at. So this is a no demand structure here, as we can identify. It's no demand right here, no demand right here. So we can as well expect prices to continue sliding to the downside. All right. Okay, so next I want to look at your euro related piece with you guys, because this is also where the money is. Yesterday I did speak about that was on Monday. Okay, so we did take some early trades of EG. Okay, so Euro GBP. One of the setups here, I promised you guys I was going to do a session for this setup right here, but the time is what's really lacking for me. Okay, so this is also an ABC structure. This is a failed C. Okay, well, it's not really a failed C because I would put it not really a failed C though, because we had the C leg go beyond this extreme of B. So it's not really a C leg, but however, this configuration was just what I wanted to capture. That was why on Monday, okay, what I was looking at taking was a little bit of a counter trend trade. Okay, that was why my target was here and my entry was somewhere around here. Okay, so I was looking at taking a counter trend trade. My stop loss was just above this point right here, and it was a very small risk. Okay, when price broke through that zone, I knew that I was wrong and that I should have waited for the original trade plan. So what's the original trade plan here? Most times when we have a failed C, okay, similar to this one I'm going to be sharing with you also, I'm going to be doing a full breakdown video of that analysis and also how that setup really works, but I just want to give you a brief. Okay, I want to give you a tip of what that looks like. Okay, first I want to show you that also with a failed C on GBP USD. Okay, so this is the very first example here. It's oftentimes the start of a wave 1 to 2. Okay, this is what's going on here, guys. Let me just share with you also first before I do that video. Here we have an impulse. Okay, so we have a start of an A running structure, as you guys know. Okay, A, B, C. Okay, for a contraction here, and then we have a C. So this C leg here, also similar to what I shared with you on that previous setup there, we had a failed C leg, price dropped to downside. Most times these are often start wave of a wave 1 to 2. Okay, here we had price move up and then contract a little bit before going upside one more time. Okay, so many of the times either price would fail in this triangle here, so you can be watching out for this kind of triangles. Number one, okay, in a setup of a shallow wave, such as this one here, because here the pullback was very shallow. All right, the pullback was shallow because it didn't just go below 50% up to 61.8 or 78.6 Fibonacci retracement, but however it was just shallow around the 38.2, just sliding below the 23.6 fib level there. Okay, so it was just shallow, and we had some sort of contracting structure here to confirm or carry whatever import that should come here after some sort of contraction here, and then pricing continue to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to look at two of these setups with you guys, because I want you guys to get the full understanding first. This is the very first one I'm going to look at. Then I'm going to look at the second one here. Okay, I'm going to actually still make a full video also giving you those full things which you need to look out for this kind of scenarios to play out for you guys. Okay, I'm also looking at the next one here. I'm going to be looking at the next one on AED-CHF. Okay, so this is also a similar example right here. There are so many of these kind of setups on your chart. Okay, so you need someone to really identify this for you and then pinpoint this one for you so that you can as well learn and then understand. Okay, so this is another example here. We have an impulse here, ABC structure, which should have also created the next move to the upside. So we have an A, B overall. So what we're looking for is a C leg. However, what we're looking at here is more of a truncated wave. Okay, so we have price stayed around the extreme right here, and this area here turned out to be a failed C, also spreading an A leg. Okay, so however, price did drop down, as you can see here. This is the difference. Okay, this is the difference between GBP USD and this one setup right here. So in this setup right here, what we had here was we had more of a deeper retracement. Okay, so we had more of a deeper retracement, and this was also the extreme here around 61, just below 61.8, and just above slightly 78.6, and then price continued upside from that point on. As you can see that most time this is always start up with 1 to 2 and followed by a very strong impulse to the upside. Okay, as you guys can see, also similar with GBP USD. All right, so I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. I just wanted to put a little bit of light into that before then working out the full analysis also with you. Most times these are often start of a very big trend to the upside. Okay, as you can see, this is also reflected on this one right here. Okay, and let's just go over to the pay in question, which I was also working on before I just stepped in to share with you also that. All right, okay, so we're working on GPUSD. So what I'm going to be waiting for now is I'm going to be waiting for a down drop. Okay, some sort of corrective pattern. Okay, and then I'm going to be looking for validation. Okay, confirmations, reasons. Okay, so we've seen price extreme here, so possibly price could also continue upside. That's not going to be what I'm going to be concerned with. I'm going to be concerned with that much retracement that I could also wait and then start drawing some sort of structures, some trend lines, or some reasons to be able to take the trade. Right, so many of the times I pointed out to traders that you should not look for reasons to take the trade, you should also be looking for reasons not to take the trade. Okay, so I have various reasons not to take any trade from this point on here, but I have reasons to be taking a trade when price does any of these. Okay, either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have a breakout, then a retest. I can also continue doing this one here. All right, so this is what I'm going to be looking for in the next trading day. So yesterday I did share with you also a setup here. In my early days I was called king of missing trades. Okay, so but I loved it, right? Because it's best to miss a trade than to lose a trade. Okay, a missed trade is not a lost trade, all right, but it could also be very painful. I ask traders oftentimes, what is more painful? All right, that you close a position and price continues in that direction, all right, or price hits your stop loss and then reverses on you. What is more painful? All right, and what is more fun? Price hits your stop loss and then continue going against you, possibly if there was no stop loss. Okay, or immediately you close out on a position, price reverses. What is more fun? All right, share with me also in the comment section what you think about that and what is more fun. All right, I just want to do today I'm just doing a random pay, all right, random kind of thing, all right, for you guys. Okay, so we did have some push up here, right? So I'm looking at this one, but I'm not going to be the guy to stand long in this one here. I have my reasons not to stand long in this one here because this doesn't really look clean. Okay, doesn't really look clean. well, there's some reasons not to take a trade for me. All right, some reasons not to take a trade for me. So I just want to leave this one for what it is. Okay, I want to leave this one for what it is. I have various reasons why I want to do so, because one of the major reasons why I want to do so is because pound is in a downtrend. In terms of when you look at the DXY for pound, you understand that we are in a downtrend. Okay, let me just quickly look at pound for you guys, and why I don't want to take any trade off pound. Okay, so let's look at pound. If you look at the BXY here, you're going to see something very, very unique here. I want to just share with you something very unique here. Irrespective of whatever is happening in the market, what sentiment is the market, but definitely there are some pairs that also have embedded price movements. Okay, so it was also the case with AUD during the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. We also had it that most of other currency pairs or the 7 assets were also going down. Possibly the pound and also the euro were taking the effect of the sanctions that was also imposed on Russia, also causing price increase in terms of crude oil price increase. Okay, but AUD and NZD was also not facing that of much of a challenge, because they were also going up. Okay, they were also appreciating over that period when other currencies were going down. All right, so we also had it that United States dollar was also very much appreciating against the Japanese yen and also the Swiss francs. That was also going up, and that took price to new highs. We did see also USD/JPY also get up to 125, and that was also wonderful. Those are very cool areas to see price, and it was one of those areas which I was also looking at on longer term. But however, I didn't know that that would also be achieved on a very short time. All right, so looking at this one here, I think we have more of a bearish structure than a bullish one here. So possibly, however, price could have as well completed this structure here. This is some sort of contraction. As you guys know, when I'm looking at contraction or a triangle here, most times it appears on a wave B, X wave, or a wave 4 of the sequence. Okay, so we had some sort of one here, price drop down, pull back. So this one here is a bigger one. I think this is going to create a much longer or much bigger result than what we have for this one here. So I'm going to expect them possibly going to be having more of down drops, still continuing. Okay, so I'm not going to be looking at taking any long positions in for now for pound until I have some validation. Okay, so possibly if there's going to be a pullback to some sort of ABC maybe structure, then possibly a break of the structure, I'm going to be looking at taking some long positions as a pullback trade. Okay, so as a counter trend trade. Okay, for that one here. Okay, so looking at also other ones here, there are no really good setup for here. This is another one here which also I see potentials. Okay, I'm not supposed to be making this kind of session right now, because I was supposed to share with you also a full breakdown of this analysis here. But if you look at this one here, you can also see a failed C. Okay, because I have it already labeled on my chart. Okay, but from the fact that I'm also showing you this, you'll not be able to spot this easily. I'm also showing my chart here. So here I looked at Fibonacci level here, and what is going on in Fibonacci levels here? This is 61.8. Well, there could also be a possibility that price would want to still slide down, continuing into this territory here. It's also a very big possibility that price could also do any of those. Okay, possibly, I don't know, right? But I think it's best to plan and then expect anything to come from the market. All right, I think could also happen in the market. You might see price slide from this point on where we are into the downside. So possibly, if you want to be, if you're a guy that oftentimes love the risk, you can as well take some risk of this one here. Let me look at risk. Here's going to be about 76 pips. That's wild. Wow. Okay, and you can as well look at taking targets of a very huge areas. All right, you can look at maybe price back or going below those zones. All right, those zones. Okay, it's a possibility. It's a possibility that anything could happen. This is market. This is trading for you. Anything is possible, and you don't need to rule out anything in the market. All right. So with that, I will see you also guys in the channel, and I will share with you also other breakdowns as everything develops. Okay, and all right. So this is what we're looking at for the morning. All right, we're looking at taking AD and the D, and also NZD card. Okay, so I showed you NZD card is not here, but I'm going to drop the analysis right over on the channel. All right, so see you next time. Subscribe, like, and share with friends. That's gonna be the best thank you, and it will also help in the creation of more videos such as this one. And don't forget to drop your questions, also those analysis which you want to see next on my next video. All right, and I will sure do that for you guys. All right, see you next time. I love you.